Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. I hope you are doing great today. Let me ask you a question. Have you ever heard someone say, "My car broke down," "They broke up," "Someone broke into the house," or "A fire broke out," and felt confused because all these expressions use the word break but have completely different meanings? If yes, then today's lesson is exactly for you. In today's detailed English lesson, we are going to learn 4 extremely common and powerful phrasal verbs. These are break down, break up, break into, and break out. Native English speakers use these expressions every single day in conversations, movies, interviews, news reports, and social media. If you truly want to sound natural and fluent in English, you must understand how these phrasal verbs work and how to use them correctly. This lecture is going to be simple, detailed, and engaging. We will discuss the meanings, grammar, usage, situations, common mistakes, and examples of each phrasal verb. By the end of this lesson, you will feel much more confident using them in real-life conversations. So let's begin with the first phrasal verb. Break down. The phrasal verb break down has several meanings. This is one reason why English learners sometimes get confused. But do not worry. We will understand every important use one by one. The first and most common meaning of break down is when a machine or vehicle stops working properly. For example, if your car suddenly stops working on the road, you can say, "My car broke down." This meaning is commonly used for cars, buses, computers, air conditioners, washing machines, and other machines. Examples: 1. My car broke down in the middle of the highway. 2. The washing machine broke down yesterday. 3. Their bus broke down during the trip. 4. My laptop suddenly broke down while I was working. 5. The elevator broke down again this morning. Notice something important. We usually use breakdown for unexpected technical problems. Now let us move to the second meaning. Breakdown can also mean becoming emotionally weak and starting to cry or lose emotional control. Imagine someone is under a lot of stress, sadness, or pressure. Suddenly they start crying. In that situation, we can say they broke down. Examples: 1. She broke down after hearing the sad news. 2. He broke down in tears during the interview. 3. The mother broke down while talking about her son. 4. I almost broke down from stress last week. 5. They broke down emotionally after the accident. This use is very common in emotional conversations and news reports. Now let us look at another meaning. Breakdown can also mean dividing something into smaller parts to make it easier to understand. For example, if a teacher explains a difficult topic step by step, the teacher breaks it down. Examples: 1. The teacher broke down the lesson into simple steps. 2. Can you break down the report for me? 3. She broke down the process very clearly. 4. Let me break down the problem for you. 5. The coach broke down each movement carefully. This meaning is extremely useful in education, business, and presentations. Now let us discuss pronunciation and natural speaking style. Native speakers usually pronounce it smoothly like breakdown in fast speech, especially when used as a noun. For example, the breakdown of the machine caused delays. But as a phrasal verb, we usually say, "My car broke down." Now let us discuss common mistakes. Many students confuse breakdown with break up. Remember this clearly. Breakdown is mostly about machines failing, emotions collapsing, or explaining something in smaller parts. Break up is different. We will discuss that next. So now let us move to our second phrasal verb. Break up. Break up is another very common English phrasal verb. The most famous meaning of break up is ending a romantic relationship. When two people stop being boyfriend and girlfriend or stop their relationship, we say they break up. Examples: 1. They broke up after 5 years together. 2. She was sad because her boyfriend broke up with her. 3. I heard they broke up last month. 4. He still misses her even though they broke up. 5. Why did they break up? This is one of the most common uses in movies, songs, and conversations. Now let us look at another meaning. Break up can also mean separating something into smaller pieces or parts. Examples. 1. Break up the chocolate into small pieces. 2. The ship broke up during the storm. 3. They broke up the meeting into 2 sessions. 4. The ice began to break up. 5. She broke up the bread and shared it with everyone. Now let us look at another important meaning. Break up can also mean stopping an event, gathering, or fight. For example, if police stop a fight between people, they break it up. Examples. 1. The police broke up the fight quickly. 2. Teachers tried to break up the argument. 3. The rain broke up the outdoor event. 4. Security guards broke up the crowd. 5. The party broke up around midnight. Another meaning of break up is when sound or communication becomes unclear. For example, during a phone call, if the sound becomes weak or interrupted, we say the line is breaking up. Examples. 1. Your voice is breaking up. 2. The internet connection keeps breaking up. 3. I could not hear him because the call was breaking up. 4. The signal started breaking up during the storm. 5. Our online meeting kept breaking up. Now let us discuss some grammar patterns. We often say, break up with someone. For example, she broke up with him. This is the correct structure for relationships. Now let us discuss common mistakes. Some students say, they broke down, when talking about relationships. That is incorrect unless you mean emotional collapse. Correct. They broke up. Incorrect. They broke down. Remember this difference carefully. Breakup is mainly about relationships ending, things separating, or events stopping. Now let us move to our third phrasal verb. Break into. Break into is a very interesting and useful phrasal verb. The first meaning is entering a place illegally, usually by force. This expression is commonly used in crime reports and news. If a thief enters a house by force, we say the thief broke into the house. Examples. 1. Someone broke into our house last night. 2. Thieves broke into the shop. 3. The police said nobody broke into the building. 4. A man tried to break into her car. 5. Criminals broke into the office during the weekend. This meaning is extremely common in news headlines. Now let us move to another important meaning. Break into can also mean suddenly starting an action. For example, if someone suddenly starts laughing, singing, or crying, we use break into. Examples. 1. She broke into tears after hearing the news. 2. The audience broke into applause. 3. He broke into laughter during the speech. 4. They broke into song at the party. 5. The children broke into cheers after winning the game. Notice something important here. We usually say, break into tears, break into laughter, break into applause. These are natural English collocations. Native speakers use them very frequently. Now let us discuss another meaning. Break into can also mean entering a new field or profession successfully. For example, if someone becomes successful in the film industry for the first time, they break into the film industry. Examples. 1. She wants to break into acting. 2. It is difficult to break into the music industry. 3. He finally broke into professional football. 4. They are trying to break into international markets. 5. She worked hard to break into journalism. This meaning is common in career discussions and business conversations. Now let us discuss pronunciation and speaking flow. Native speakers often connect the sounds naturally. Break into. It sounds smooth and fast in conversation. Now let us discuss common mistakes. Students sometimes confuse break into with break in. Break into usually needs an object. For example, someone broke into the house. Break in can stand alone. Someone tried to break in. This difference is important. Now let us move to our final phrasal verb. Break out. Break out is another extremely powerful and commonly used phrasal verb. It has several meanings. The first meaning is when something dangerous or sudden begins unexpectedly. This is commonly used for wars, fires, diseases, violence, and conflicts. Examples: 1. A fire broke out in the building. 2. War broke out between the two countries. 3. Fighting broke out after the match. 4. A disease broke out in the village. 5. Panic broke out in the crowd. This use is very common in news reports. Now let us discuss another meaning. Breakout can also mean escaping from a place, especially prison. Examples: 1. The prisoners broke out last night. 2. 3 criminals broke out of jail. 3. He tried to break out of prison. 4. The movie is about prisoners breaking out. 5. Nobody expected them to break out successfully. Now let us move to another meaning. Breakout can also mean suddenly developing skin problems like pimples or rashes. Examples: 1. My face broke out after using the cream. 2. She breaks out when she eats too much chocolate. 3. He broke out in a rash. 4. Stress can make your skin break out. 5. I suddenly broke out in pimples. Now let us discuss another useful expression. Break out in. We often say, break out in sweat, break out in tears, break out in laughter. For example, he broke out in sweat during the interview. This means something suddenly started happening physically or emotionally. Examples: 1. She broke out in tears during the movie. 2. He broke out in sweat before the exam. 3. The audience broke out in laughter. 4. I broke out in excitement after hearing the news. 5. They broke out in celebration after winning. Now let us compare all 4 phrasal verbs together because comparison helps memory. Breakdown is usually about failure, emotional collapse, or explaining things. Breakup is usually about relationships ending, separating things, or stopping gatherings. Break into is usually about entering illegally, suddenly starting an action, or entering a new profession. Breakout is usually about something sudden beginning, escaping, or skin reactions appearing. Now let us do a quick comparison using simple situations. Situation 1. Your car stops working. You say, my car broke down. Situation 2. A couple ends their relationship. You say, they broke up. Situation 3. A thief enters a house illegally. You say, he broke into the house. Situation 4. A fire suddenly starts. You say, a fire broke out. See how different the meanings are even though they all use the word break. This is one reason why phrasal verbs are challenging but also exciting. Now let us discuss why learning phrasal verbs is important. Many English learners focus only on grammar and vocabulary, but native English speakers use phrasal verbs constantly in everyday conversation. If you avoid phrasal verbs, your English may sound too formal or unnatural. For example, instead of saying, the vehicle stopped functioning, native speakers simply say, the car broke down. Instead of saying, they ended their romantic relationship, native speakers say, they broke up. Phrasal verbs make your English sound natural, fluent, and confident. Now let us practice all 4 together with mini stories. Story 1. Last week, my car broke down while I was driving to work. I was already late, so I became very stressed. Then I called my friend for help, but during the call, the signal kept breaking up. Finally, he arrived and helped me. Notice how breakdown and breaking up were used differently in the same story. Story 2. A thief broke into a jewelry shop at night. While the police were searching the area, a fire suddenly broke out nearby. The situation became very chaotic. Notice the difference between break into and break out. Story 3. Sarah broke up with her boyfriend after many arguments. A few days later, she broke down emotionally and started crying while talking to her friend. Again, notice the clear difference. Break up means ending the relationship. Break down means emotional collapse. Now let us discuss some advanced tips for mastering these phrasal verbs. Tip number 1. Learn phrasal verbs through situations, not translations. Instead of memorizing dictionary meanings, imagine real-life scenes. For example, car stopping on the road equals break down. Couple ending relationship equals break up. Thief entering house equals break into. Fire starting suddenly equals break out. Visual memory is powerful. Tip number 2. Practice speaking aloud. Do not only read silently. Speak the examples loudly because pronunciation and fluency improve through repetition. Tip number 3. Watch movies and listen carefully. You will hear these phrasal verbs everywhere in English media. Tip number 4. Create your own sentences. The more personal your examples are, the faster you will remember them. Now let us create some conversational examples. Conversation 1. A. Why are you late? B. My car broke down on the way. Conversation 2. A. Did you hear about Sarah and Tom? B. Yes. They broke up last week. Conversation 3. A. What happened last night? B. Someone broke into our neighbor's house. Conversation 4. A. Why is everyone running? B. A fire broke out in the market. These are exactly the kinds of conversations native speakers have every day. Now let us discuss some pronunciation practice. Repeat after me slowly. Break down. My car broke down. Break up. They broke up. Break into. Someone broke into the house. Break out. A fire broke out. Now say them faster naturally. My car broke down. They broke up. Someone broke into the house. A fire broke out. Excellent. Now let us look at some advanced combinations. Break down completely. Break down emotionally. Break up peacefully. Break up suddenly. Break into tears. Break into applause. Break out suddenly. Break out in sweat. These combinations sound very natural in spoken English. Now let us discuss one important learning point. Phrasal verbs often have multiple meanings. Do not panic because context tells you the meaning. For example, she broke down. This could mean she cried emotionally. The machine broke down. This clearly means the machine stopped working. Context changes everything. Now let us do a quick review. Break down. Machine stops working. Person becomes emotionally weak. Explain something in smaller parts. Break up. Relationship ends. Separate into pieces. Stop a fight or gathering. Break into. Enter illegally. Suddenly start laughing or crying. Enter a new profession. Break out. Something dangerous suddenly starts. Escape from prison. Develop skin problems. You can pause this video and repeat these meanings several times for better memory. Now let us move to some challenge sentences. Try to understand the meaning yourself. Sentence 1. The prisoners broke out during the night. Meaning, they escaped. Sentence 2. My internet connection keeps breaking up. Meaning, the sound or signal becomes unclear. Sentence 3. She broke into tears after hearing the news. Meaning, she suddenly started crying. Sentence 4. The teacher broke down the topic very clearly. Meaning, the teacher explained it step by step. Sentence 5. Their relationship broke up after many arguments. Meaning, the relationship ended. Excellent work. Now let us discuss why students confuse these phrasal verbs. The main reason is that they all begin with the word break. But in English, the second word completely changes the meaning. Break down, break up, break into, break out. Each combination creates a different idea. That is why phrasal verbs must be learned as complete expressions, not word by word. Now let us end with a final motivational message. Do not be afraid of phrasal verbs. At first, they may seem difficult, confusing, and impossible to remember. But with repetition, listening, speaking, and practice, they become natural. Every fluent English speaker once struggled with these expressions too. Keep practicing every day. Use these phrasal verbs in your daily conversations. Write your own examples. Speak loudly. Listen carefully. Slowly, your English will become more natural, confident, and fluent. Thank you so much for watching this lesson. I hope you enjoyed learning the differences between break down, break up, break into, and break out. Which of these phrasal verbs do you hear most often in movies or daily life? Write your answer in the comments below. If you enjoyed this lesson, do not forget to like the video, share it with your friends, and subscribe to the channel for more powerful English lessons. Keep learning, keep growing, and I will see you in the next video.